Hey everyone, I'm changing out my oil pump today. I'm going to show you what I've done so far here. So coming around over here, I've already taken off the right side casing right here, and I'll give you some tips on what I'm doing. What I'm trying to do is install a new oil pump. This is straight up pumps right here, and the previous owner, he put in another oil pump. If you look down here, you notice that the pipe on here, it goes straight back here. And so straight up pumps, what they did was they bent this in and it goes in more. So I'm just going to take out the old one, sell that one, put in this new straight up pump one, and this is just the standard one. There's more expensive ones, but you know, I don't really go too crazy on it. But I'll show you what I did here. I have the Zoom Brute exhaust, and to change the oil on it, I had to take off the Zoom Brute exhaust to even get to the oil plug. And so I drained the oil already. You're going to have to take off this right here. I took off the bottom bolt, and I just loosened this up and I swung it down like that, and it comes out fine. So you don't have to take off the whole piece here. And then I'm gonna take this off. I bought this spanner tool right here to remove the lock nut that's in here. So you're gonna need this tool. So I'm gonna take all this off. I'm gonna take this clutch out too, and I'm gonna inspect the clutch plates here. And I saved my gasket here. It's totally fine. And so yeah, let's do the rest here. I'm gonna remove this. Unfortunate. So to make it easier on myself, I have an impact gun right here. This is a 10mm, and if you don't use it, look, it's gonna spin. So you're gonna have to wedge like something in here, a nickel, a penny, or something, or a rag. But since I have an impact gun, we'll just make it easier on myself. And yeah, more oil is coming out right there. So yeah, I haven't taken this off yet since I've bought it from the previous owner, and I'm gonna see how badly this has gotten. Ooh, I'm seeing a lot of metal shavings in here inside. Let me clean that out. So yeah, this is what you can expect if you don't clean it out too regularly here. Let me wipe this, and then look at that crud. There we go. So I changed the oil on this just once when I bought it, and I changed out this lifter plate right here, and I put in more stiffer springs. I put in the 60%, what was it, the Sex Machine springs, and it's been great. I bought 6 of them to fill all this in, and this is the Chimera lifter plate, and it works really good. So I like that plate. So that fits perfectly. I'll leave a link in the description for all of these stuff that I have here. Oh man, thought for a minute there it's not going to come off. I really suggest getting a impact gun. Okay, let's remove this right here. There we go. There's a washer in here, don't want to lose it. And I'm really just going to clean everything off. Get all this crud out in here. Now time to take off this oil pump right here. Okay, let's see this baby. There we are. Here is the other oil pump, and it looks like, I don't know, I wonder if the previous owner made it himself. Look at this. Like maybe he welded it on himself, drilled a hole here, glued it in here. I mean, it worked fine when I was riding it, but I just wanted the right oil pump made by straight up pumps, because I did see that everyone buys the straight up pump and they say it works really good. So yeah, look at this. A comparison with the straight up pumps. This is straight up pumps right here, and right here is the old one that was in there. See that? Look, straight up pump, they welded that. This one, I don't know if this guy did it right. And then look at the bend on the pipes here. This one is bigger, this one's smaller, the pipes are smaller, and this is the correct way to bend it like this, because it goes in a hole in there. So I'll show you the installation on it, but yeah, that's how it looks like. For this lifter plate right here, I don't want to use my impact gun just yet, because you have to unscrew these evenly, otherwise you might mess it up. So I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way. And see, it just takes a couple of tugs and we'll loosen it up. So it's not too hard for this one. I didn't need to put a penny or anything in here. So now I'm going to remove this evenly, just a couple of turns that way, and I'm going to do that to all of these. So I read on Amazon that some of these tools will not fit like perfectly For mine here, I couldn't get this in. All you got to do is just take a file and just file it down a little bit, just like that, on each of these the grooves right here, the knobs here, and now it fits perfect. So it wasn't a big deal. Just giving you a heads up on that, because almost all of these I hear that that was the issue and it wouldn't fit all the way. Just file it down, file the inside right here. I filed just a little bit, you know, and now it just slides in perfectly. Alright, so once again with the impact gun here, let's take this off. Oh, okay, that is spinning quite a bit. So here we go. There is a hole back here where you gotta stick the end of this pipe in. There's a hole back there. You got it in, and then it just seats down like that. So there we go. Alright everyone, so I had some difficulty removing the lock nut here, because every time this thing will spin, right? And here's how you do it. You gotta shift your bike into 4th gear. So since I took this off already, all you gotta do is just lift the bike back up and then just hold this and just keep on spinning it, but shifting it up at the same time until you get into 4th. So shift it into 4th gear, it will lock on. And then while using my impact gun here, I stepped on the wheel so that it would stop spinning, because look, that thing will spin with the wheel, right? So I had to step on the wheel, and then I just used the impact gun here. And then I have to take out these bolts down here to remove this. Alright, so there we go. Took this out. Oil on this steel. There is a washer right here, so don't lose that. And then I wanted to get into this thing right here because I bought a new one. I want to replace this. Let me see, I think it's this one. It's one of these right here, because I don't know, I felt like this thing was making it squeal on my bike, and I read somewhere that they said to replace this, so that's what I'm doing. I'm replacing this out. And this, by the way, is called the outer collar clutch. Here's my new one, and here's the old one. I don't see any issues with it, but I did buy a new one just to do it, you know, since I'm taking this all apart, just in case. Okay, so here is the thing. I actually went out and bought some more parts. Look at this. I bought this other clutch plate right here because it's drilled with all 4 bolts. And if you take a look at this one, I broke a bolt off in this. This is the old one, and you know, I didn't want to figure out how to remove that bolt. I know I can buy some extractor tools, but I just went ahead and bought the 6 one because I can screw in all 6 bolts. So I just figured I'd just do that. And then I also just went and bought these other ones too. I got these 2 parts right here. This one I actually wanted to replace. You know, as I mentioned, the whole reason for me to take this off was because I wanted to replace this inner part right here. But then it also had another one, so I bought that to replace that. And this is for the gasket for the side filter right here. And yeah, it's been like 2 weeks later actually, so I'm gonna finish this up, put it all back together now. Also, I did have the clutch plates right here sit in oil while I was waiting for my parts for like 2 weeks. So it's been soaking in here for like 2 weeks here. Alright, I got this pressure plate back on here. I got everything on over here, and then this to get it back on, because look, it turns when you're trying to tighten it. What I did was I just stuck a rag down here, and it stops it from spinning because it gets caught in the gears. It's a lot easier. See, like it'll just get stuck in there like that, and then you can tighten this up. So that's what I did. Alright, so the bike is all put back together, and I double checked everything. I wiped down my pipe with alcohol to clean it up, and this is the oil that I'm using, Castrol Power One 10W40, and it's the full synthetic. I wasn't using full synthetic before, so I'm switching over, and I used the whole bottle here, a full quart, because I realized that I had this bike sitting and draining for like 2 weeks, so it's pretty bone dry right now. So yeah, let's start this up.
Five minutes later.
Well guys, I had to take this back apart, and I want to mention something here because I think it's pretty important. I screwed up on something putting this back on. This right here, this is for the clutch. Make sure that it has tension like this when you're putting it back on, and that this thing here is in here properly. So let me show you what happens here. I'm gonna pull on this lever and it pushes this thing up where I can take it out. Now what I did wrong was that I had this swung all the way around this way like that, and look, this piece is loose, and I put it back on like this and it didn't have tension. So make sure you swing this all the way around and the spring catches on right here where there's tension, and then in here I had to pull on it to pop this back in and make sure that seats all the way in, otherwise it won't go back on. See, so now that it's seated in and this has tension here with the spring, now I can adjust my clutch correctly, because I wasn't able to adjust my clutch, so I had to remove this whole thing. But luckily, you know, if you put your bike down, you don't have to drain the oil. See, all the oil is now on the other side of the bike, and I was able to just remove this and fix that problem. So now I'm just going to put this back on and everything should be fine. Okay, got everything back together, and I've adjusted my clutch here. Everything looks good with the spring, and I'm gonna start up now. Something is wrong. Damn it, I think my battery's dead. Alright, so battery wasn't dead. I just had to shift it into neutral. I guess when I was messing with the clutch, you know, it was in first gear. So yeah, everything's running good here. Let's see, am I getting any smoke? Any drips? Any smoke? Okay, so I'm just gonna take this out and let's see how it runs. So I'm heading out to get a sandwich right now over at this Firehouse Sub place, and then I'll talk about how this feels right now. Right now my clutch feels kind of stiff. More stiff than before, and they are the 60% springs. But yeah, let me just get to this sandwich place, then I'm gonna cruise over to the Quake Stadium. These dudes here. Alright, so I checked my map and the Firehouse Sub is over there. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to the Quake Stadium. Since it's just right here. And I've never been through here. See what it's about. Preferred passes. What's this preferred? Oh yeah. The whole lot to myself. I see a truck over there. I wonder if he's like security or something. But let me just do this. This would be a great lot to practice around. Check it out right there. Lone Mart Field, Quake Stadium, Dodgertown, Rancho Cucamonga. So here it is right here. I'm trying to see if there's any oil, smoke, if I did anything wrong. Let's check this out. But I want to tell you right now, the clutch up here, it feels a lot stiffer when I pull it in. So if you guys are thinking about getting 60% springs, like, they are really good, it grips on, but they are stiff. So just know that, you know, maybe, I don't know, I wonder if I should have went with 30%. But I did hear that everyone got 60%. That's why I went with it. That's why I did that. My pipe here is like really close up. I think I need to adjust this a little bit more. And that's another thing. If you have the Zoom Brute exhaust, just like this, I suggest laying the bike down and putting the pipe on. It was so much easier than doing it with the bike sitting up like that. I had a hard time just adjusting it right. But with it laying down, I got this in really good. Like, it's snug in there, like at the right position. But I did notice that I got this too close over here to the swing arm, so I might have to just do a little bit more adjusting out. But it was so easy to put it on with the bike laying down. I think everything's good here. I'm trying to adjust my clutch thing in here a little bit better. Like, it's gripping on too far out. I want it to grip on a little bit earlier. And then the oil pump, so far, you know, it seems like it's good. I haven't done any wheelies on it yet. I'm waiting for my sub cage to come in, then I'll practice some. And yeah, my suggestion, like, I had a hard time, you know, like, I suggest if you're doing all of the fixes like I did in this video, I suggest buying all the parts, getting everything ready. And then as you're taking things out, take a photo of everything, because like I said, I had trouble with this. I put it in the wrong way and I had to take it back off. Just make sure, like, you take a photo of every step you do. Otherwise you're gonna forget. You know, since I film my videos, I can go back and rewatch the videos and see where I left off. But yeah, you don't want to miss anything. And what else? And I think I'm gonna put on some dirt tires on this. I'm gonna get the Kenda big blocks. All right, so I'm gonna go and get my sandwich, and then yeah, you know what I also did? I removed all of the baffles on my my Zoom Brute exhaust. So, you know, it sounds a lot louder. If you don't want it too loud, just have one in. As long as you don't have two in there, it's all good. Because two in there is just too quiet. It's right over here. Here it is. Awesome. Okay, I'm just gonna get my sandwich and then I'll be right back. I'm gonna show you my sandwich right now. I got the Firehouse Hero sandwich. Looks okay. Alright, people, I'm gonna go home and eat my sandwich like a fatty. And yeah, this bike rides good. I don't see any issues.